What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast. This is episode 296. Today, our guest is Mr. Ice Coop Russell. He is a stand-up comedian and all-around good bro, man. We had a good, fun conversation. I hope you guys enjoy it, and you can check his comedy out when he's doing open mics every Wednesdays and Thursdays at the Lantern, and on Thursdays is Bar PM, and he probably will be doing showcases for other people throughout the years. He's barely beginning, but he's funny, and we had a really good time. Check him out. Also, shout out to our sponsors for today's episode, Tell Me Something Studios. If you've been sitting on an idea and you want to take the next step but don't know how, go to Instagram and DM Tell Me Something Studios. They do all sorts of multimedia projects, and they can help you take your idea to the next level. Shout out to Tell Me Something Studios for sponsoring this episode. They have a podcast out right now that's pretty great, really high quality, and they can help elevate your game, man. If you're into the media space, I would say check them out and see what they can do for you. You know, he's really good at all of that. Shout out to them. Also, if you want to help support this podcast by subscribing to the YouTube channel, that's a free and easy way, as well as like Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can rate us, give us a review, and subscribe. Also on Patreon, patreon.com/SnakePitStudios, where you can subscribe for $1 to the Conversation Pit and help support us there as well. And that will be it. Thank you guys, and I hope you enjoyed the episode.
And then we went into the show, and
Where was it at?
it was what?
Was that at the Coliseum?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I remember.
The worst place in the world to see a show, but I saw so many great shows there.
I've seen a couple of awesome shows out there. I've seen, I wish I would have even been alive during those kind of times, but I got to see Disturbed there. I got to see Korn back in the day out there. Blue Oyster Cult one year.
Blue Oyster Cult.
They played the fair.
They're so like if you're a Kiss fan, you know
I am a Kiss fan.
Told you.
Blue Oyster Cult.
Strutter is my favorite
I've
Kiss
got
song.
my favorite tattoo is Dimebag painted up like Ace Frehley.
Oh, fuck!
Show the camera.
Dime time.
Show the camera.
Oh. Dime time.
Oh my
Calm
god,
down,
hold on.
look
I
at
have
that.
to get a video of your fucking tattoo. Hold on.
And I did it in the comic book style.
That is one of the hardest fucking tattoos I've ever seen in my life.
So
Oh my god.
I love doing walk at karaoke, and I get a little.
You do?
I do it every time because everybody just yeah, they just go nuts for it.
Me.
And so I go off on a little spiel. I'm like, "Fuck you, Phil. I miss you, Dimebag." I mean, it just and everybody's like, "Why are you singing fuck Phil?" And I was like, "Well, that's a rabbit hole." But
Yeah.
I saw them on the Cowboys from Hell tour.
God damn. Here?
Yeah, Fair Park.
So you know what? That might have been the tour that you saw Typo Negative at. Because at
Probably.
one point they toured together. Like I always say, like my time machine concert, my time machine memory that I could go back in time to,
Right.
I would do anything to see that tour.
Oh.
I would do anything.
I don't remember. I mean, because we snuck out of the house. I was in 7th grade. This was probably 1990.
Oh, that's
89?
definitely in the time. Yeah.
And we snuck out, and it was Fair Park. And I don't know if you can tell or not, but I'm a white boy. And at this time, I mean, Fair Park is not in the best side of town. And especially, you know, when you're sneaking out of the house, I mean, shit happens, but shit always happens to me. I was like, I'm going to get stabbed. My mom's going to find out, and I'm going to get in so much trouble. And we went to Fair Park, and just a wall. It's the first time I've been trampled 5 times at concerts, and that was the first time I ever got trampled.
I would-
Fair Park?
Yeah.
What is that?
The Fair Park Coliseum.
Coliseum.
at the fair.
Okay. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
You
It was-
typo negatives with them?
I would assume if that's because earlier he had asked, he was like, I think they've been through here before. You would remember them because Peter Steele, the lead
Steele's
singer,
pretty-
he was like 6'7", 6'8".
Oh, nice.
Super long
Brooklyn
hair.
accent.
Yeah,
Big motherfucking
insane.
sexy dude, apparently.
I need to check. Well, I need to check it out. So
They're great.
When you next time you make love to a woman, put it on.
Yep.
I'm telling you.
Led Zeppelin 4.
I'll try that out now. No, the typo negative or Deftones,
It's great for the season.
pretty good to
See,
fuck to.
Oh man, Tool was fun. Tool and Outkast.
Ooh.
I had to have surgery because of that, but I'm not supposed to tell that story.
Well, tell it.
You were having sex
You're on
to
the snake
pull
pit,
an
you have to-
outcast and you had to have surgery?
So I was with my girlfriend, and when she would get drunk, she just turned into a dirty girl. And we were, pretty intoxicated. We were at the O Bar on 34th, and take me home and fuck me right now. It's like, yes, ma'am. So we did, and it was raining, and Outkast and Tool were on because I made a what are they called? Not a cassette tape, but anyway.
Like a CD?
Yeah. So I had
Yeah.
it all set up, and we were just going at it, and it was one of those sessions where everything was perfect. I mean, I thought I was Peter North. I mean, we was just in the mood, and
Peter North.
so she asked for third input, I guess is the best way. And I was just like, oh yeah. And so at the end, I was so impressed with myself, and I was so excited. I forgot that I didn't have my prosthetic on, and I took a step back to gaze in amazement and wonder, and I fell straight onto my residual limb and had to have surgery a couple of days later.
What happened? Like medically?
It burst a lot of the blood vessels.
Because you were hard?
Yeah, because I landed on it. My nub, my residual limb, my shin bone, fractured it right there, and
So you broke your wiener?
no, my leg.
Leg.
Oh,
I
I
didn't have my
thought you were-
Pay
prosthetic
attention,
on.
damn.
Well, you said numb. I was like, your
No,
third.
my residual
I thought you talking
limb.
your dick. I was like, oh shit.
Oh man, if I fell on that, I wouldn't.
That's
be
what I
right
thought. I
here.
was like, what the fuck happened? Oh, my bad.
But I don't know if she'll ever see this, but she hates that story. But I was like, yeah, anal sex. I'd have surgery and afterwards. But Tool is fun to fuck too.
Oh man, I gotta. Oh my goodness. Russell Cooper, everybody.
Oh,
in
hello.
the snake pit. Already talking about music and sex.
Oh man, started off early.
Um,
I'm excited to be here. I've been doing this for 10 months, and so I've always heard about this from all my guys that I do open mic with.
you've only
And-
been doing this for 10 months?
Been doing this for 10 months.
Oh shit.
And and I've heard about, I've been to your other podcast and
The live one.
the live one, and I'm
Do you have
excited
a
to be
good
here.
time
This is
at
awesome.
those?
You went to
Yeah.
the one, both of them, huh?
Yeah,
That's right.
So-
you were talking to my mother,
yeah.
motherfucker.
Hey, I
You
was
were the
very
one that was
respectful.
licking P's armpit.
Oh,
You're,
why not? You only live once.
what did that taste like?
It tasted
Is
like,
it salty?
yeah.
It was gross.
It wasn't gross. I mean, it tasted like, you would think it would.
No,
You're
I don't
licking-
have any idea.
You're licking sweaty body parts. You kind of tasted similar.
Salty.
That sweaty girl.
I was not expecting what I saw when she pulled her
Yeah,
armpit
I knew
up.
nobody was.
And I was like, fuck.
Oh, she's hair.
Yeah.
She has hair, buddy.
So I tried to lick around it. But, hey, it's the wheel, you got to. So. And there
I
was
don't
no-
even think you spun the wheel, brother.
Well, I know, but I didn't go up yet, so I will when I go on. But I can't eat a jalapeno because that would have killed me. And I sweat. I sweat sitting on an ice cube in Alaska. I mean, medium wings will melt my head. I mean, I was like, I'm not eating that fucking jalapeno. It's gonna kill me.
Oh man, you shouldn't have told me that. Now I know. I don't know when the next one's gonna be, by the way. So we'll figure it out. But we'll have you on the next one.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. So,
But I'm excited to be on. It's a big deal for me. This is cool.
Well, we're gonna have fun.
Yeah.
Don't make it too weird.
No. Or not weird enough.
Yeah. So you're a comedian. I just want to get into it. How did you lose your leg? I want to know this story.
So I was 9 years old, and it was on a 3-wheeler accident. And so it was me and my best friend, and I grew up in Lake Ridge. And the area that I was in was the newer area, and there were a lot of empty lots. And around the corner from my house, there was this big, huge house on the 17th hole. And I can add to that story later. But and there were 2 empty lots on each side of it, and on either side there were jumps and obstacles, and because there were other kids that had ATV stuff. And so me and my friend that Friday night saw our first vagina on film. We were watching Revenge of the Nerds. And so we were 9 years old. We were like, yeah, we finally saw it. High-fiving each other, being stupid. It's like, we're going to go celebrate. Let's go ride my 3-wheeler. And so we did, and it was mid-afternoon. I was being an asshole. He didn't want. He wanted to drive, and he's like, "I'm like, no, I'm driving. Fuck you." And we got into an argument, and he got off, and I went on, and I lost control of it, and popped it right off. It threw me off. And what they think happened is that my foot got stuck on something, and it spun me around, and just it burst more than it tore off. It's like so.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't even know it. It's amazing what your brain does when you're going through trauma like that, because I had no idea that it happened. And I woke up, and my dad would turn
Did you just think you just fell really hard?
Yeah, and I was embarrassed because I was around all the older kids. I had scratches all over my arms, and I'd split. My helmet was gone. And my dad would turn the governor down, which controls the speed, every time I would do something I wasn't supposed to. So my little three-wheeler went like 15, 20 miles an hour. And we traded out with the big kids, and just wasn't able to control it. And so I'd split my helmet down the middle, and I was like, man, that's going to, wow. The three-wheeler was behind me on the throttle, and I was just really embarrassed, like I said, because the big kids are around. They're going to make fun of me. Mm-hmm. And so I stood up, and I dusted myself off, and as soon as I took a step forward, boom, busted my ass. I thought I was standing in a hole, and my buddy was to the right of me and kind of like turned into a Spanish soap opera. He's like, your leg. And what are you talking about? And I looked down, and
It was just gone.
it was gone.
Oh shit!
So that's how I lost it.
And you had it back for a little bit.
They reattached it later that night, which in hindsight,
Was there pain after you looked?
oh, yeah. I mean, kind of instantly. I mean, I knew it happened. There was a moment where you hear, I mean, you know it, you see it, you feel it, and then shock takes over. And I was just kind of like, wom, 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 wom. I could hear what was going on. And there were a lot of golfers out there because, like I said, it was Saturday afternoon. And one of them had a drink in his hand, and he leaned over to see if I was all right, and he spilled beer all over me. So I had a puddle of blood on my chest from holding my leg up there, and I had beer all over me too.
Oh shit!
And then my mom, they told her, Russell broke his leg, but they didn't tell her what all happened.
How or Jesus.
Holy
And when she got nervous or excited, the woman laughed uncontrollably. I mean, she was just, and so I heard her coming, and I was just laying there, oh my Lord, I'm in trouble. I'm going to get grounded. She's going to beat my ass. I mean,
that's all you thought about?
my buddy's never sleeping again. I'm never seeing Revenge of the Nerds. And she got over there, and oh my Lord, Russell, what did you do? Oh my, why the fuck does he smell like beer? And the guy was just like, ma'am, I'm sorry. That's my fault. And she goes, well, who the fuck are you? And then she stood up and slapped the shit out of him. And he got taken off, and I was like, I'm dead. I'm just dead. And then that was it. So took me to the hospital.
Oh, God. How old were you at this point?
9.
Just a baby.
I was a baby. It was crazy. I mean, it was just.
So Lubbock was like, at that point, there was nothing out in Lake Ridge?
Well, I mean, it was over there kind of where Blue Sky is.
It was just developing.
Yeah, it was developing out there.
It's
I mean,
fucking way different now.
Yeah. So, even once to how hardcore I am, I grew up on the bad side of Lake Ridge.
Oh, my goodness.
You didn't want to go over there after dark.
Yeah, we do some yards over there.
You get your house tape, toilet paper.
It is, you know what, man? I know you're being funny right now, but it's dangerous because, like, some of the yards we do, there's golf balls in the front yard.
Yeah.
Like, their windows are constantly being, like, if you're out playing and you get whacked by one of those,
No.
you might die.
That's a real thing. 'Cause
Yeah.
my mom had a big bucket that when she would go for a walk, she would just take it with her. And I think we had 300 or 400 golf
My
balls.
boss
in that
does
bucket.
that. He steals golf balls all the time.
Yeah. I mean, why not?
Good ones.
So my dad, when he used to take me cruising in the El Camino or the Chevy, he would take me to the country club. Like, but it was like literally like on the loop, like the highway,
Yeah.
and he would pull over his car, and we would get on the side of the road, and we would just pick up golf balls. My dad was a golfer,
Yeah.
and so that's how he would get like endless
Yeah.
golf balls.
The good ones, too.
I mean, it was a cool place to grow up, but I mean, there was all. I don't know. I was a little bit self-conscious about it, but I mean, it was cool. I mean, those golf courses. I mean, there was a lot of childhood living going on out
I
there.
bet it's fun.
And do y'all remember the kid that knocked his head open to Luke?
Yes.
The accident that he had was on the exact same hole where I was at.
It's cursed.
Yeah, and there was another bad thing that happened out there a long time ago too on the same place. So that hole is just kind
What
of.
else happened?
Well, somebody lost their life after indulging in party favors. I guess is the best way to put it. And so yeah, just
Somebody OD'd.
yeah.
When was this?
Oh, I don't know the date of it. I just know it happened. I mean, just because but whatever.
Just
Well,
being
what the
out
fuck
there.
is buried underneath there?
I don't
Jesus
know.
fuck.
But the only good thing I could think of it, though, honestly, because there was a good thing. I did have a good memory out there. I became a man.
You fucked out there?
Yeah, I lost my virginity on that hole.
Oh my goodness.
Nice.
So
What was her name? I had a good joke. I could have said what was his name. Damn it.
I would have caught that eventually. But I had to christen it in because I couldn't live with that memory anymore of what happened out there. It was just ironic that we were out there too. So
Did you have PTSD?
yeah, I do, and it's slowly developing too because I mean I had 71 operations from the time I lost it until the time we amputated it, and we didn't know about it then because there for a long time throughout middle school, high school. I mean, I played football, I played sports, did everything I wanted to do. Went to Disney World, walked around twice, and I lived it. It didn't encumber me
You went to a lot of concerts.
that much. A lot of concerts. I just lived. And as I got older, as it deteriorated, it started to manifest. It started to pop out, because we just didn't deal with it. I mean, it was 1985. They told my parents he's healed, and that's what they heard. And so,
Just not mentally.
just not mentally. I mean, they call it shell shock for Vietnam, or from war and whatnot, but it's a real thing. I mean, I don't like to kid around about that because there's some people out there that are suffering from it severely and it's debilitating. I mean, I don't like being in crowds. I can't, loud noises. When I hear a smack or boom or a bang,
Yeah.
You don't like being in crowds, but you like going to concerts?
Well, I mean, I have to know where the exits are. I mean, I have to have a
gotcha.
strategy. I don't like to get in the middle of things. I have to be where I can get out of it eventually. I am, for movie purposes, I am the black guy in the horror movie. I'm gonna get killed first. So I just have to make sure that doesn't happen. And that's the one thing that happens in your brain when I just have messed up ways that think that's going to kill me if I don't do that because we never dealt with it. I mean, so when you're 9 years old and I've been to therapy
And you
since
literally
then.
almost died. You kind of have that mentality
Yeah.
of like,
Stays with you for 40
this
years.
shit could really end at any time.
Exactly. I mean, I didn't want to leave my mom's side.
Right.
Everywhere I went, she had to be there. I had to see her. I couldn't, I mean,
Yeah.
just had that weird developing thing. And it was just, but it's one of those things. Anything can happen to anybody at any given time. I mean, it doesn't matter. Shit happens in life, and it's just how you deal with
So
it.
when you did like acid and shit, did it ever like
No,
fuck with you?
no. I mean, when it fucks with me is just like when I get tired, when I'm hurting, or like I don't know. I've dealt with it. I mean, I think it's a great story. I think it's a cool story. It kind of separates me from.
I've been waiting to hear it.
I mean, I do a lot of my comedies kind of based on it because,
Of course.
and it's just, it's something, like I said, it's a freak accident, but life is what you make of it. I mean, I could have sat around and been bitter and, why me? But why not?
Well, you
me?
fucked on that hole, man.
Yeah. I mean, you just got to make do with it. My mom, I was being a jerk one day right after the accident, probably about 2 or 3 months after. And she said the best thing in the world to me that I want to get tattooed somewhere. I wasn't listening. We were all just emotionally stressed out and in a lot of pain and blah, blah, blah. Everybody was on edge. And I was just being a 9-year-old asshole. And she picked me up and she pulled me in her room and she put her finger right in my chest. It was like, Russell, I'm not raising a fucking cripple. And that's just been my mantra ever since she told me that. And because, I don't sit around. I don't feel sorry for myself.
Yeah, damn.
I just got it and accepted it and did what I was supposed to do.
Do you ever have what they call it, phantom pain?
Yeah, I do.
Whoa.
Still?
Yeah. So they're not as bad as they used to be. In the beginning, they were lethal. And I mean, they would last forever. And they would leave tremors behind. Oh. And some amputees get them, some amputees don't. Some get them and they go away. And there was so much nerve damage that I get them, and they're not as bad. But you can see me when they happen because I'll just be sitting there, and then I'll just grimace like,
Yeah.
And
Oh shit!
Is it always painful, or is it ever like an itch that you literally
it's
can't scratch? It's always pain.
it's pain.
It's always pain.
It's like a real bad. It's like someone like sticking a hot poker
Ugh.
right through it. I mean, because it's and it's electrical.
It's just so tender.
Yeah,
So tender.
Oh
so
shit!
tender. My nub is tender. But no,
Oh my goodness!
I didn't say it.
Born and raised Lubbock. This happens. Where'd you go to school?
I'm a Coronado Mustang. I went to Coronado. I opened up every school on the southwest side. And then the year that I had my accident, I was at Wheatley. I was a Wheatley Tiger. And but I mean, I never went to school that had windows until I was at Wheatley. Went to Whiteside, went to Irons, went to Coronado. None of those schools had windows, so maybe that's why I'm partially the way I am the way I am.
What year did you graduate?
94.
And you're,
I'm old.
all right. Look, okay, I had to get that story out of the way. We can talk about music now.
All right, cool. So that's how. But if we were at a bar, I stepped on a bear trap. I juggling chainsaws. Shark attack. That one's good on the beach. Lost it in the war on drugs. That used
Hell
to be
yeah.
my opening.
Damn, that would be pretty funny to tell people like at the beach.
15 years ago, lemon shark swam out past the buoy.
Oh shit!
But that's the story.
There we go. And now you're a comedian.
Wow, trying to get on this podcast forever.
Hey,
I'm
man.
glad you're
Yeah,
on.
thanks for being on
Thank
here.
you. That's another notch on my belt. My 17th hole. Well,
Oh, chill out, bro.
You're one of the one of the things that people talk about in my group because I do a lot of open mics and a lot of my buddies have been on the show and
Most of them have, I
yeah,
think.
and so I've just always heard about Roy and I got to go to a couple of your other shows and it was just one of my goals to get up here. I'm excited.
Are you gonna go to Fools and Ghouls?
Yeah,
October 19th.
Yay.
This will be out after, but
yeah, absolutely. I support my groups. I love this comedy scene. This has been really, it's been really amazing, and I wish we could just.
how'd you get involved with it?
More Rafa. I met Rafa at Jazz, mistaken identity, and so I was there to see a band, and people usually sit in on the band with them, and this one time this guy was in there from a Tejano band, and he was dressed like a frontman for a Tejano band. I mean, he had the brim on, he had the suit, it was yellow and red, and I mean, and he was funny, he was kicking, and he was just badass, and. So I was outside hanging out with the drummer, and we came back in, and I was sitting down. All of a sudden, this guy if y'all saw the Breaking Bad, the Saltamachia brothers, someone
Exactly.
dressed exactly like that, had this
I want those boots.
silver suit, the boots, turquoise bolo tie, and the hat,
Pistols.
and it was Rafa. And I was like, "Hey, man, I'm glad that you're here. You were so badass last time. You were so funny." And he goes, "I'm not with the fucking band, man. I'm here. I'm a comedian." And I just kind of turned it off, and I was like, "It's the universe talking to me." And he talked to me for 2.5 hours about how to be a comedian, how to write jokes, and how to do it. And then he challenged me. He's like, "If you think you can do it, come on, I do open mics. You don't have to do it." But he kind of challenged me. And I got up there and I did it and just fell in love with it.
Which one did you do?
But,
Morgan's?
The first one was at Bar PM, or Cafe J's,
Okay.
the Tuesday one. And there were like 3 people there. Then the next one was the Lantern. And then
Do you do them every week?
Lantern and Bar PM's. So
We got to boycott the Lantern, brother. Just kidding. Just kidding.
No, I know that. I stay out of all that. I just want time
No,
on
yeah,
there.
you just need to do time. Stay out of that shit.
Yeah, I know. But
Oh my god.
I'm like, I don't know what to stay out of. What's going on at Bar PM or at the other one?
nothing.
nothing.
I don't want to get
Foolishness.
him in trouble, so I ain't gonna talk about it.
I do love that one because that one's different from Bar PM because Bar PM is college students when tech is in, and so that crowd can either be
Awesome. Or like they want to be woke.
or they're just there.
Here's my, I try to do my best to help y'all out if I can. I'll say this. Let me just say this. When the crowd is bad, I hate to hear comedians complain about the crowd being bad.
Right.
I hate it. Like, that is your job, is to capture them. If they're being whatever, you have to be like, that's good practice. If you ask me, that's good practice.
I agree.
Because I was there, last time I was there, the crowd sucked.
Right.
Because this guy was actually doing his first open mic. Oh, you were there?
Yeah.
And everybody was complaining, and I'm like, no, you need to be like, figure this shit out.
Right.
Like, this is fucking practice right here. This is good practice.
That's exactly why I like to do it twice a week, because I mean those are things that you don't know, and I don't know what I don't know. Like Don Brunsfeld said, I mean there's so many things that go into stand-up comedy, like getting the audience on your side right away. And then I got up there. I mean they were already just had that mindset of they were there for their friend that one time, and they weren't. And they weren't experienced enough at comedy shows to not know the etiquette of you don't talk during the whole set. So it pisses some people off, and some people don't give a damn. And I don't have the time enough to know how to recreate that or redirect all that. I mean, I don't have that much experience. I'm still learning as I go. So it happened one other time, and there was a group of fraternity boys over to the right that were, everybody was giving them shit. And, I mean, they were all going at them. And I was like, guys, you got to be nice to these people. We have to, because if we piss them off, where are we going to get our roofies from? And then that kind of turned them around a little bit, and I was like excited. But I'm a reactionary crowd worker, and so they kind of paid attention after that a little bit. But
Who did you like grow up listening to comedy?
Yes, I've always been funny. I've always been the joke teller. But I grew up with Eddie Murphy, Raw and Delirious. George Carlin.
Me and my boss were just talking about Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, I mean, just I remember watching the Delirious. I get Raw and Delirious mixed up, but that had that cassette tape. We watched that 1,000 times. And Richard Pryor movies. Andrew Dice Clay was really big. There was a comedian that came to Lubbock. My first comedy experience was Bobcat Goldthwait, and he performed the night that the masked rider lost control of the horse, and the horse broke its neck in the stadium. They had to put him down. Mm-hmm. And Bobcat was here that night, and he was playing at the auditorium, and there was probably 200 people there. And because I mean it was Saturday night, obviously, and so he got up there, and his first joke was, like, how bad does the school have to suck when the mascot commits suicide during the game? And I was just like, that's so brilliant. And then that's so evil. My Red Raider side was like, fuck you, Bobcat. And it would just, but I mean, I was just like, God damn, and it just was something that I always thought I could do. But when I got into it, I realized there's a whole lot more to it than just getting up there and telling jokes. Cause
that's the first step.
Yeah. And thank God for Rafa. I mean, I love Rafa. I mean, it just, and one of my jokes, I always get bumped for Rafa.
Stereotyping helped you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it was kind of like that Louis C.K. where he's like, oh, thank God my doctor's Indian. That whole deal. But I just assumed, I mean, he looked the part.
You can't blame you, that motherfucker.
He was awesome.
I've had him on here twice, I think. And I've been trying to just pick at him slowly his whole life. He won't tell me some shit.
Nope. Yeah,
which I respect.
Yeah. So that night, I got up there, and I get bumped for him all the time, and I'm excited to do it. I'm happy to do it. He has given me so much. So yeah, bump me, and he bumped me from 2 places, and I got up there, and I was like, Rafa, how about that guy? I mean, it's just like Antonio Banderas and Weird Al have a love child. Mm-hmm. And I thought that he would think that was pretty funny, but I did. So, but he does. I mean, look, the hair.
He's
so funny. He's a mess. Oh my gosh.
I love Rafa.
There's like a part of his life I wish I could talk about on this, but I'm not, which always gets me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, dude? You crazy.
He's just so cool. I mean, it's just kind of like I would like to have that ability to be able to chill and relax and just not be. He just seems to know everything. He has that little bitty thing.
The rape whistle?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's a rape whistle. It really is.
Yeah.
Is he still vaping out of that
it's
thing?
still the thing. Yeah. The same thing that he brought on here.
I know, but I'm saying that he's still trying to puff at it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that's what it is.
I have no idea what it is, and I can't hear as it is, and we're usually in a lot of background. I'm like, man, what is that, Ralph? And I can't ever understand.
I'm too lazy. I was too lazy at that point, but I really wanted to make an edit when he was on here last time of a counter of how many times he was just, It was literally a rape whistle, and he just
I guess
maybe 100 times the whole fucking podcast.
like an oral fixation or something.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Keep your hands busy, but I don't care. The man changed my life for the better. I mean, I wouldn't be on this podcast if it wasn't for him. I mean, he came into my life when I was in a really bad spot, and he turned it around for me. And so
He's the man.
he's the man. Si se puede. Viva.
Shout out to you. I don't even know if he listens.
Oh, I don't know if he does or not, but he's just really, really cool, and he's is a source of really good information. And I've never had a bad show, according to him. I mean, if I asked him for true criticism and whatnot, and then he'll tell me, and then, but I mean, just kind of cool to come off stage and seeing him laugh or getting a laugh out of him. I mean,
That's huge.
that's huge for me.
He's the man, dude.
Yeah. My sensei laughed at my joke. So, but he's been awesome.
So you've seen it all though here, all these people coming in and out, comedians,
Yeah.
artists.
And it's been so cool because I mean, it's just I was when I began, I was shit like everybody is when they begin, and now I just suck. You know, you're never going to be good until you get years into it. I mean, naturally, but unless you get in and you do it, you get your time up there. I mean, I know that I'm not shit, and I know that where I'm at, and I know my place in the line. But you know, I know that once I get some weight under my belt, I think I can hang with almost anybody. Or at least attempt to.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing about comedy is fucking years and years and years and years of it. You got to put in decades.
You got to.
It's crazy.
And I never wanted to win a show like The Voice or America's Got Talent. You're winning a talent show. You're not putting
Why would you want to win that?
Well, because I mean, you're not putting. I just don't think it's respectable. I mean,
oh no, I'm saying it's not as cool as it used to be.
Well, that I mean. Two or three people have come out of it.
Go on fucking Kill Tony, you know? That's like way more.
Well, we're talking about doing that.
I hope y'all do.
I think we could.
Y'all should be doing it once a month. Yeah, it's me.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not opposed to it. I mean, why
at
not?
least trying.
At least try. I got 1 minute at least.
Mm-hmm.
You already got one guy who's done it.
Yeah.
So you can get, you know.
And why not? I mean,
there was another guy that did it from Amarillo not too long ago. He actually did all right. I really enjoyed it.
I just think that I had a little taste of it the other night when I was in Fort Worth. I went to an open mic down there.
Oh yeah.
And the host down there was kind of doing it. He had the sound effects, and so after I did my 4 minutes, he only gave me 4 minutes. I was walking off the stage, and he's like, "Hey man, I want to know the truth. Why? How did you?" Because I did the hokey pokey story about how I lost my leg, and he goes, "No man, how did you lose your leg?" And then I came back in, and I had my war on drug story locked and ready, because Rafa always said, "You got to have something in the chamber ready to go." And so I had that one locked, and I just kind of, I think I'd be all right. And if you flop, I mean, shit, just
fuck it,
have a good time.
Where was that at? You said what was the place called?
Fort Worth.
Sharky's.
Sharky's.
It was in the basement of a upscale restaurant bar, and my buddy goes, because there's multiple ones in the Dallas that he goes to, and we went to that one, and it was really, really, really cool. So, but we were talking earlier about, you know, playing the black crowd, and I was really excited because there were a lot of black comics in there, and then towards the end of the show, they'd all gone, so I didn't get to do my stuff in front of a black audience before, and I want to do that one day.
You got to win them over, man.
Yeah, I think I could.
That's the one.
Because my street name is Ice Coop.
Ice Coop, huh?
Yeah. I used to want to have a drip so bad. I've
seen like I told you, I've seen pictures of you from back in the day. You were Johnny Cool, man.
I used to have a badass Italian afro, and I grew it all out, and it was full of waves, and I felt like Vinny Barbarino.
Waved up.
Oh man, it was awesome. I loved it.
Are you like Italian, like?
So my grandma was first generation off the boat, but I think I'm a quarter. I'm not exactly sure, but it's on my mama's side. So
That's where you got that skin tone.
yes, thank you. So, and I think that's why I'm in love with Latinas, because my ultimate goal and dream is to find me an Italian woman, and then there's very few and far between around here. So the Latinas are the next best thing.
Next best thing.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Well, and for me, I mean, if you can't have the Mercedes Benz,
I'm talking about him saying that.
if you can't have the Mercedes Benz, you might as well have the Maserati.
There you go.
I was saying he was talking shit, not me.
I was not.
He likes Latinos. He was talking to my mom, motherfucker.
I was just
What
trying
the
to.
fuck?
I was trying to pay my respects.
You didn't even know that was my mom.
I
bro.
just
Chill.
said, "How you doing? How are you?" And as soon as she told me who she was, I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, whatever.
But I'm always respectful.
Anyways.
But no, I just wanted to find out where I paid.
Yeah. I think that was the first time I met you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, ooh. Because I thought you were Morgan's. Well, I mean, you are Morgan's friend, but I thought
Yeah.
you were hanging out with him.
So I met Morgan when I used to host shows at the Alamo. And so
Okay.
I've known Morgan for about 8 years.
Do you know Chris Vargas?
And if I saw him, probably. I've been hitting the head a lot, and I really enjoyed college. So
Yeah, he used to host at Alamo too.
and I learned about bombing at the Alamo, and it was the most painful experience.
I bet. God damn.
I always heard comedians talk about it. It's like a death of 1,000 paper cuts. I mean, it was fucking horrible.
Really?
I was doing
Don't
Jaws.
scare me now.
I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, no,
I should have followed up on because I wanted to host at the Alamo.
it's fun, but it's not like it used to be because they used to give you whatever you wanted to eat,
Brother,
As
let's,
long as you tip the waitress comparable to what you ate. But they changed it up now.
I said it on this last podcast I dropped. I'll say it again. Alamo, you fucking have dropped the ball. They suck now.
I mean,
I'm going there Saturday, but they still suck.
Yeah, we're talking about the hosting though. That's like
I'm talking about the
shit.
place.
well, it used to be something awesome. I mean, I take movies very seriously. I mean, I made movies until I was 30, and I mean, that's how I rehabilitated. That's how my mom dealt with me. VHS tapes just came out. And so there was a master video. It was over there in the same building right across from Abuelo's. And every fucking day she was in there renting movies for me. And that's Revenge of the Nerds and all that. So movies mean a lot to me. And when the Alamo came, I convalesced there. That's where I went to go.
That was heaven when it first opened.
It was. And I got up to the elite level of the film club. I mean, every time we went there, give me your points, and I'd have my family I built up 3 years, and then when the pandemic hit, they didn't go to the building one time,
Yeah.
and it just fell apart. And then it was just kind of like, man, it's kind of a dump now because you're not taking care of it, and it hurt my feelings. And I got into an altercation with the manager, and I'm not allowed there anymore. So.
Oh shit.
Oh, damn.
But I go to Premiere. Premiere's
picking up, honestly.
Yeah.
It's just, Alamo, it was such a gem when it first came to Lubbock.
Yeah.
That was the first of any type of theater like that I had ever experienced. That was like almost like just curated to like the movie lover. And even just like their screenings, like,
the movie parties.
Yeah, the movie parties, the graveyard shift,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was my shit back in the day. And yeah, I will never forget when COVID was first starting up. I was like, I have more free time. I'm going to go to the movies more.
Yeah.
And they were the first ones to shut down before anything
That's
shut
crazy.
down.
And it was so awesome. I mean, I saw all 7 Nightmare on Elm Streets there. In Nightmare on Elm Street.
Do you remember like Dismember the Alamo and stuff like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first time you saw Nightmare on Elm Street?
Yes, I do. It scared the
Was it?
It scared the fucking shit out of me. I slept on the side of my bed for 7 weeks. Because when Johnny Depp got sucked into the,
Oh yeah.
I mean,
You were trying to avoid the center?
I was trying to avoid it frightened me.
The thing that always got me was a New Nightmare, like the never ending crawling underneath the bed, like under the sheets.
What about Halloween?
that one's disturbing too. In the new ones, I think Rob Zombie did a great job.
I was trying to watch that the other day. Jen didn't like it.
I didn't like
That was the worst one you could have chosen of all the fucking movies
I'm
we
just
had.
joshing around.
I didn't like the last 2 that came out that Danny McBride did. The final ones. I mean, the last one was dog shit. I got up and walked out. And I don't do that.
Do you want to
I
hear
like
my
it.
theory on that?
I do.
Okay. So I can give a crumb of grace to David Gordon Green
Right.
for that because the first 2 came out pre-COVID. And Halloween Kills was that very last one,
Yeah.
I believe, right?
Halloween Ends.
Whatever. Anyways, true. Yes. But that very last installment came out post-COVID. It was 2021. I remember Alamo did a graveyard shift showing of Season of the Witch in 2021.
Nice.
So I remember seeing it and thinking to myself, this shit has something to do with that last installment. So when I watched Halloween Ends, I have a strong gut feeling that had COVID not happened, because I'm sure that's what happened while they were filming. COVID probably happened.
Right.
I think they were going to end it on a note of it connecting with the Shamrock Company and Season of the Witch, which is why I think that satellite had something huge to do with the Corey and him always hanging out by the satellite and the radio station.
Right.
I feel that would have had a way bigger hand in the storyline, but COVID happened, so they just had to pretty much just
Streamline.
Yeah.
give you whatever they fucking had.
Jumble it all together.
And so it was, I think, the weakest of the three in that new trilogy, but I give that a few years before people come around and make that connection.
I'll try 8 more days till Halloween. Halloween.
What's it?
Halloween. 8
It's
more
the
days.
most slept on, I think. And you know what? I never gave that movie grace, Season of the Witch grace, until I realized that John Carpenter pretty much tried to do what Ryan Murphy is doing now.
Yeah.
So John Carpenter had tied up Michael Myers' storyline with Halloween 2. So Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, was just meant to be in like the Haddonfield universe.
Yeah.
But Michael was never gonna come back. So he was trying to make the Halloween franchise an anthology. So the Halloween franchise would just be a series of different horror films centered around the Halloween holiday. And it bombed.
Yeah, and it's such a not complex, because the production side of the first couple of them were so minimal. I mean, it's but who the mask is, but I mean, he never moves, and it's his facial expression. It was the same thing with Jason, but Michael Myers just chills me to the bone. I mean, because it's just so. And then in the new ones where he killed that couple, the reporter that was
Oh my gosh, I knew it.
and you see him without his mask, you see the backup, you never see his face, and
Yes.
and they called him the Shape.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
In the ding 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 ding.
Yes.
I just watched a breakdown of it.
It's just such a bad. And then
5-4 time signature.
it was awesome. I mean, they did get a little bloated like every other franchise. I mean, you can only kill so many different people, so many different ways but Michael, if I had to get killed by a slasher film, if I'm getting killed by Leatherface, because I don't want to get
I don't want to
butchered,
feel that. Yeah.
Jason would just slaughter you, but he would stalk you. And Michael just,
He would just get that shit done.
I got other people to kill.
If you're lucky, he'll just get you in the head or
Yeah.
something. I don't know.
But, and it just did, that one always chilled me to the bone.
Yeah.
I watched the breakdown of it. Robert Ingold worked on the set of the original one. That's fucking crazy. And did you know the actor who played the Shape in the first one? He's in The Thing.
Really?
Yeah, he's the actual shadow in The Thing when the dog walks in the room.
Oh.
That's him. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
think-
And he only got paid $25 a day.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, that was probably big money back
What's her
then.
name? Got paid $2,500,
Jamie Lee Curtis.
and then Carpenter is $10,000.
I know the actors all had to provide their wardrobe,
They
so
all were.
her outfit was like $41 from JCPenney's back in the day.
And then all the kids that you see are actual kids from that neighborhood.
See, and that's what blows my mind.
Yeah, it was an indie passion project completely.
And same thing with Chainsaw. I mean, it was minimal. I mean, it was someone who had a passion.
That was
for,
like a college indie project essentially. It's a bunch of
Texas,
college
baby.
It's in
college
the,
buddies,
it's
middle
in,
summer.
It's in the Metropolitan Museum of Modern Art. It was originally rated triple X, and there's really not a lot of blood in the movie.
When I learned about it being like about veganism and the animal industry and all that, I was like, oh shit.
It doesn't
changed,
surprise me.
It changed like how I saw the movie.
You know how you can tell when your friend's vegan? They'll let you know.
Fucking, that's a good one right there.
That was for you, Derek.
I fucking hate vegans.
Yeah, but I mean, but that's the whole thing. But with Alien and Chainsaw, they used the
didn't know.
camera, they used editing, they used the storyline. I mean, some of these films today that are just so saturated because you got to have the 17-year-old crowd in there. So R-rated movies got watered down.
Oh yeah, or it's like I think that's so. I recently got into Alien with when Romulus came out.
Oh man.
So of course I had to rewatch the first one again. And when I watched it, I was like, this is such a terrifying film because it uses silence.
Mm-hmm.
It uses a lot of silence, and that is fucking terrifying. But that's true. Is like nowadays films almost have to over-explain what's going on, or over-explain its lore, or over-explain
to these retarded TikTok kids.
Yeah.
I mean, well, it's just like I guess, you know what I mean? But it's just almost like a movie isn't worth it if it's not packed with lore. You know what I mean? Like,
I do love lore.
Alien took essentially like 2.5 decades to fully explain
Maybe
its
I am
lore
retarded.
and its whatever. Nobody has that kind of patience for 2 decades.
No.
That makes sense.
Which is why now we see like an over-explanation of film, and then you have to watch the fucking TV series on Disney Plus or on Hulu or Netflix for it to be canon in order to tide you over until the next one's
That's
made.
me. God damn, I'm
It's
one of those.
pathetic. I love you, but no,
Oh,
that's
my
not
God.
the way to go.
That is me to a T.
I love
And that's why like Disney Plus
autism
has
in me.
killed Star Wars for me.
That's autism. in me.
Star Wars was something to just
Star
savor
Wars.
and enjoy, and it was an epic event
Yeah.
to enjoy.
You
Star
haven't seen?
Wars.
Have you seen Andor? That fucking show is awesome.
I have not.
Motherfucker, that show's awesome.
And then the one with I have not. I mean, that's
Ahsoka?
I haven't
where,
kept up since Mandalorian season 2.
I lost track of Mandalorian. I mean, it just kind of it all. I mean, it didn't go
The
anywhere. I
Acolyte
just,
sucked.
yeah, I mean, just kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, everything that came out of Star Wars.
I just kind of stopped after the
Watch Andor.
Mandalorian season 2 wrap.
check it out.
I just kind of like dropped the extra series that were coming out that were like canon and stuff. I'm like,
Ahsoka?
no, fuck
Ahsoka's
this.
pretty
I'll
good.
wait 15 years or something.
Ahsoka's pretty damn good too.
If you get with a Star Trek nerd,
Bad Batch.
they'll tell you that Star Trek is more scientific. Star Trek is. I mean,
I never got into Star Trek.
I never did either. And then, but I mean, in Star Wars, it's just. Yeah, I went to film school at North Texas, and one of the studies that we had to learn, basically, the end of A New Hope is a Nazi propaganda film. They ripped off Leni Riefenstahl, and we saw the video where the award ceremony at the very beginning, at the end, excuse me, is shot for shot as a Leni Riefenstahl Nazi propaganda film. I mean, it's,
I mean, come on.
yeah, Darth Vader's helmet.
SS
Based,
stormtroopers.
Yeah, I mean, it's fucked up.
Hey man, the Nazis did a lot of bad things, but their uniforms were pretty fucking sick.
And, yeah, well,
Their uniforms are sick. Hugo Boss. Just saying.
and it's all based off of paganism from like
The,
old
the
German
Nordics and shit.
The Nordics.
That's your people. Look what you people are doing.
My people, forget about it.
Oh my God, you know something crazy?
Yes.
I fucking saw. Sorry, this is about to get graphic. I saw a picture of a guy. There's a town in Mexico in Veracruz. The mayor was, for 6 days, he was the mayor. They cut his head off and put it on top of his car, and I saw the picture. And and somebody was like, "Yeah, you guys are pissed off about the Spaniards. Look what the fucking Mexicans are doing over here now." I'm like,
We're gonna give you a new headlight.
fuck. It wasn't like, it's gory because it's a head.
Yeah.
But it was like, I hate this. It was like a clean cut head. It was weird.
Efficient.
And it was no warning to this.
Yeah.
When I saw it, and it ruined my, like, I was about to go to sleep. I was like, oh yeah,
You can't unsee it.
I've seen a lot of that shit.
And, and so a buddy of mine is in ICU right now, and I mean he's gonna be all right, but we almost lost him there for a minute. And I've been in ICU before as a patient, and that was the first time I'd been back as a visitor. And when you go into an ICU floor, there are no doors on the rooms because those nurses have to have, if something,
Oh really?
if shit goes bad,
gotta get in
they
there.
got to get in there.
Like that unit is solely just to watch the patients.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, intensive
life or death, really.
Intensive care. Yeah, everybody's in there is hanging on by a string. And I was walking back to go check my buddy, and there were some people in there that were just, God bless them. I mean, just horrible stories. And then there was one person that was in next to my buddy, broke 97% of the bones in her body. They were in a car wreck, and when she wakes up, she's going to find out that she's a widow. And so, but the point of the story, I went in to go see my buddy, and there was a gentleman that was crashing, and that they were having to resuscitate. And when you see it, I mean, it's different seeing it in the movies and
On your phone.
or a decapitated head on the car. I mean, when you see it in real life, it's just kind of like, this is nature. I mean, this is the wrath of of life.
Oh, there you say the Wrath of God.
The Wrath of Khan. Speaking of Star Trek.
Oh man, yeah, makes you appreciate what you got. Waking up every day.
Yeah, I mean, if I saw that head, I mean, I don't know how I would react.
Oh, yeah, I see too much of it.
Yeah,
Get off Twitter.
I mean, oof, I can't think of anything.
See, man, I'm not saying that shit doesn't happen here, but man, it makes me grateful I live here.
In Lubbock, you got to go looking for the trouble. I mean, you know where it is.
You kind of do, even though it's pretty dangerous here.
It is. We're the 5th most dangerous city in Texas. You know, how's that, Houston?
I thought we were like 8th in the country.
8th in the country. Number 1 in teenage pregnancy there for a little while.
We're number 1 in a lot of things. It's crazy. It's weird. Like you're like you're saying though. You have to look for it here.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Lubbock is segregated by money. You know, there are parts of town that certain people live in as a given, but if you've got the money to live where, it doesn't matter what color you are. It's all about how much money you got.
It's about green, bro.
It's about green. That's 20 twin. But I mean, it just like it doesn't matter what. I mean, just because the grass is greener on the other side of the fence, doesn't mean they're in shit in the fertilizer. You know.
I've never heard that.
So I made it up.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
I'm a genius sometimes. Yeah. No, but I know we're supposed to talk about music.
Yeah, well, I actually want to bring something up that you can't make this shit up to happen today. And you know what? I'm just gonna tell it how it is. Okay.
All right.
I'm using the restroom, and I just took a shit at Market Street. There's 2 faucets, and there's one guy to the left. He's like, so this was midday on a Wednesday, so I'm assuming he's a little older than high school.
Right.
But he's working. And right next to him is a kid with Down syndrome working at Market Street. They do a good job hiring those type of people.
Yeah.
Shout out to them. And the big tall dude broke the faucet somehow. He pulled it off, and the Down syndrome kid just, the way he looked at he looks at the faucet.
Were you gonna do it?
So they're blank. Sorry, children of God, saints.
I'm a special ed teacher, so you're good.
You know how they walk around.
Yes.
He looks at it like with that expression, and he just looks at him.
It's baseball.
And then he looks down, and he looks at him again, and he's just like, I think he's trying to process what to do. Yeah. And I'm standing behind him because I had to wash my hands, and I just like, oh my! I could feel this laughter coming from, oh motherfucker. Oh, this is perfect. And I had to walk out, and I just started laughing because it was like, you can't write that. No. It was perfect. God bless that sweet angel, but the way he was looking at the faucet was like, it was like, thank you, God, I needed this laugh.
He's like, this was not my fault.
He didn't even. Yes,
this was not my fault.
He was doing that without even saying it, and he was like,
Down syndrome. John Madden used to say that.
Oh, fuck! God bless you.
Whenever he was having a bad day, he would go hang out with the offensive linemen, and that they always made him happy because they were just like, that was the group. I was a special ed teacher for 17 years, and the Down syndrome folks are the offensive linemen they lit up my day because there's no filter, and they're just they're little bitty jerks, but they're so sweet. And they're like,
they just tell it how it is,
and they tell you how it is. And the ones that we had at my school, they were they would walk down the hall, what's up? And they would call out their names. And one of them, a young lady came into the classroom, and she was like, "Can I ask so and so to go to homecoming with me? I just want to make sure it was cool." And everybody was like, "Yeah, that would be great. That would be awesome." And because they went out of their way to include our kids in there. So she comes in and she finds him, and he's sitting with all the by the football players. She made a sign for him that said, "Hey, let's make some memories together. Will you go to homecoming with me?" And he turned around and he started crying, and it was like the 80s movie. And then he got the slow clap in the cafeteria, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go."
I thought you were gonna say he said no.
And then he got up, and he was. I mean, they just made my day. One of my goddaughters is Downs, so and they're little assholes.
Well, there you go.
They are some assholes.
One of my good friends, her little sister has Downs, and the shit I read that she texts my friend. Like,
My mom called
it'll be like 8:30 in the morning. She's like, "Send me McDonald's right now," and she's like, "What?" And then she did it once, and she got in trouble by her mom. She's like, "You can't fucking send her McDonald's anytime. Now she's not gonna stop."
Oh man, there were such manipulators. I mean,
I love her. She's so funny.
I have one quick funny one. One of them, his parents. I mean, they raised him just like they did their other kids, and so he had a really good personality. Loved George Strait, and we were at LCU, and for a field day, and he was by the volleyball girls, statuesque, blondes, tall, gorgeous
my gosh.
volleyball players. And I was like, "Hey, what's up, buddy? What are you doing over here?" And he's like, "Jesus Christ, Russell, when are you gonna get me the hell out of here?" And I was like, "Hey, we can't say Jesus Christ in hell. We're at LCU. We can't do that. We're not at Tech. You know, be grateful you're here." What, like, Jesus Christ, when are you gonna get me the hell out of here? It's just like, stuff like that would happen all the time, and it's just kind of like, seeing the head on the car. It's just like, life is fucked up. And it's just,
It is a doozy, isn't it?
the Dinky Pinky Club.
Oh, my God.
But man, they're awesome. I've seen a TikTok where this guy's painted up like Kiss. He's like, "My buddy took me to a little Kiss concert the other day," and then they turn to the band and it's the midget Kiss.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hell yeah.
I think that would be awesome. Little Kiss, I want to go see that.
I would see any iteration of a Kiss cover band.
Have you ever been to Kiss?
Oh, I've been twice to
Yaki
see
Tayo
Kiss. I saw them on the same tour. It was their last final tour before COVID.
14 times.
Yeah. You've seen them 14 times?
I've seen them 14 times.
Oh my gosh.
And only one of them sucked.
Which one?
Oh, when they opened up for Aerosmith when Aerosmith was on their blues tour.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was horrible.
What era was this for Kiss?
It was probably about 6 years after the reunions.
Oh, so it was.
Yeah, Ace was starting to fall out, and
Was this like their Psycho Circus era?
kind of around that time. And there's 3 Kiss concerts that you will see if you go see them. There's 3 different kinds. If they open up with Deuce, hold the fuck on.
I've seen them open with Deuce.
That's the show. That's the.
I've seen them open with Deuce, and I've seen them open with Detroit Rock City.
So if they open up with Detroit Rock City, not as good as the Deuce show.
No, but Deuce has the hits.
Get up! That's the show that has all of the deep tracks and She and Black. Did you know that Black Diamond is about a Vietnamese whore?
No.
Yeah, Black Diamond was her vagina. Black
Wow.
Diamond. Dun, dun. But yeah, so when they open up for Detroit Rock City,
you're gonna get the hits,
You're gonna
but
get
with
the hits.
Deuce, you're gonna get
you're gonna get your face painted, and someone's gonna get pregnant. And but if they open up with Shout It Out Loud, I'm sitting down. I'm on beer duty tonight. They kind of phone it in. You're like, nah. But when they open up for Deuce, and I've seen a couple of the tribute bands.
I would like to see a tribute. I don't know. You know what? I kind of like tribute bands. I would like to see a Kiss tribute band. And I feel like they're just such mega fans. It's just a great time.
There's one, and they always go not the Kiss group, but there was one that was at Cactus Theater. It was an AC/DC one, and the guy did both Brian Jones or Brian Johnson, whatever his name is, and Angus Young.
Oh, that's cool.
And but yeah,
I think the last Kiss cover band that came through here was at the Garden, actually. Like, literally, like, beginning of summer.
Strutter.
Is that what they're called?
Strutter, Black Diamond, and a couple other ones.
Oh, my fucking God. So Strutter's my favorite Kiss song of all time.
Strutter!
Yes. I'm like, I know that song is about a prostitute, but I'm like, that's me.
White boys
Like,
don't
that
make
woman
music
is
like they
me.
used to, man.
Do what?
White boys don't make music like they used to.
Nobody makes music like they used
They
to.
want to be underground rappers.
I
I saw a tweet that said that. That's why I said
I saw something that Jack, was it Jack White? Somebody who grew up with I think it might have been Kid Rock. Somebody grew up with Kid Rock, and they tied it together. I thought it was going to be Eminem, but it was I think it was Jack White grew up in the same town as the Kid Rock.
In Detroit or somewhere around there?
And then they ended up they put a band together, and then they kind of bumped into Eminem, and that's how everything kind of blew up with all that. But
That's crazy.
man, everything's just so manufactured now. I mean, I wouldn't want to be in the industry a bit because it's just there's no heart in it. There's no.
Yeah.
Everything is on a synthesizer or that. What's that voice thing that? That auto
Auto-tune?
Yeah.
auto-tune. And I mean, I don't know. It just seemed like everything after Outkast just kind of sucks. That's my old man.
Dua Lipa was awesome.
But I've never really been exposed to a lot of it because it's not. I'm not anywhere that I would be around where
Yeah.
she's gonna show or SZA.
SZA.
Yeah.
I don't know. Dua Lipa is cool looking. You know what I mean? She's a superstar.
Yeah.
But like,
Sturgill killed it.
who the fuck? You know what I mean?
Sturgill's
Like,
the fucking man.
Sturgill Simpson
He rules.
He is fucking phenomenal. And my buddy Tom saw him 2 nights ago in Tulsa.
oh, nice.
And he said that they played he did Living on Tulsa time and that it just everybody tore it up. I mean,
Nice.
he said show opened up at 7. He went on promptly at 8 and he played until 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock.
Oh, that's fun. I love when artists do that.
Yeah, very minimal crowd interaction because
Yeah.
he was just shredding. He was just up there jamming.
Yeah.
When he played, there was no crowd interaction at all.
Yeah.
Actually, he just fucking one after another.
That's really fun. I'll never forget one time. I know you don't like him, but I went to go see Garth Brooks in Dallas. Like, this had to be like
Shit, I don't like him. I like his
this
music.
had to be like 2014, 2015, and he had 2 shows that night. He had a 7 o'clock, and then he was going to have a 10 o'clock. So we got tickets to the 10 o'clock, and he literally was like, I'm so hyper from that first show.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get off the stage until I start seeing y'all walk out. And so he played till almost 1 a.m. And it was fucking awesome. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, like, you think you know Garth Brooks just off of his hits, but like my mom, who was like a super fan, she was like, those were the deep cuts because he was just like, y'all are still here? We're going to play the blah, 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 shy.
You don't know him because I mean I saw him when he was here when he did 5 nights.
Oh yeah, that was insane because he was only supposed to do like 1 night, and they
sold
had
out
to add on
so
the 5.
quickly.
And
They had to add on like 2 or 3 shows a day.
And they sold out like that.
Yes.
And I thought that was really kind of cool. I mean, it's a drop in the hat for him, but ABC Rodeo was here, and so nobody went to the rodeo because he was
selling out.
He was selling out. He like donated $100,000 to the ABC Rodeo. He's like,
My bad.
my bad, you know. But I mean, he didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
And when he got up there, and I've seen it before, and it might be kind of like a little shtick where I just had cancer, chemo, and I'm here to see you today.
Does he always give his guitar out?
Yeah,
because he did
gives
that
the
at the
guitar-
other show.
Oh, but still, he rocked I mean, that was just like a fucking rock and roll show.
Oh yeah, no, that was like, I mean, because obviously I mostly go to like metal and rock shows and stuff like that, but that was one of those shows where it's like, talk about crowd interaction, and he was moving, he was running, he was dancing, he was interacting, he was playing games with the crowds and having one side, you know, be louder. It was awesome.
Sounds phenomenal.
Like, that was worth the money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When we speak about like shows being like a shit ton of money, I don't even think I paid that much, but I would have paid double to see that show again.
But it's just like a steak or a bottle of wine. If I'm getting exactly what I paid $200 for,
I'm happy.
I'll go see a fucking show. I mean, I saw Primus a couple of times, and you can see it in the cheap seats, or you can, if it's something that you love, you can pay the extra, and you can be up there, and you can step at the bass.
God,
you know,
that dude.
and
Yeah,
just,
Les Claypool's.
I don't
not
think I've
human.
ever seen a dude
He's
play an
not
instrument like I saw him.
that was the 4th time I got trampled. I did get trampled at a Primus show. I got trampled at Les Claypool.
Oh, just Les Claypool?
But it was at Lollapalooza, or it was at Ozfest.
Oh shit!
Oh,
Yeah, so
fuck. Who
we-
else was playing Ozfest that year? Do you remember?
It was Rob Zombie and Black Sabbath reunited with Ozzy as the headliner.
God damn.
And it
was this like in the early 2000s?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and we accidentally ate mushrooms too early on that one. We ate mushrooms, and I was living in Denton. We ate them in Denton, and then drove to Dallas on it. And so it was really.
So you're peeking when you're like walking in?
Yeah, but it's so Les Claypool comes on, and he's wearing this silver, like a drill sergeant, and he's just playing Sergeant Maker, and then he did Damn Blue Collar Tweakers, and you know that dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 and then when he goes go, so we jumped out of the. It was at Starplex. I don't know what they call it now. We jumped out of the lawn and into the seated area and got down there. But when he goes go, bam! I ate it, and I was just my buddy was just trying to pick me up. A couple people were trying to pick me up, and as soon as they picked me up, my feet didn't hit the ground until Promise was over. And oh Lord,
my gosh.
it was glorious.
Those are the best shows.
I
Like
loved it.
the best shows are the ones where you almost kind of die.
Yes, yes. I mean, what's rock without a little bit of death and roll?
No, literally. I'll never forget seeing Deftones a couple of years ago, and it was one of those situations where, like, if your feet were touching the ground, you were stable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Oh.
there was so much movement. There was no putting your arms up, putting your arms out. But the energy was just amazing.
And it really is like a good sexual kind of a feeling when you
No,
see
that's what
someone
it
that
was.
you love. I mean, because you're so turned on in every way, and you're just
Like it's energy, and like that's okay. That's why it was such a sexy,
Yeah.
almost deadly time, because it's like I'm wet and I don't know if it's sweat, I don't know if it's spit, I don't know if it's what liquid is on my body, but
Yeah.
we're all slipping on each other,
Ew.
and we're all chanting the same shit,
Yeah.
and we're all hyped because we hear the first strum of this next song, and we already know what it is, and it's just, it was an hour of that, and it was chaos, and it was exhausting, but it was like, it was very much this like, wow, like this is exactly where I should be listening to this shit right now.
it's herd group mania. Because I mean, everybody's in that same frame of mind.
Yeah.
And the only person I've ever seen who's had total control and domination over the entire stadium is Ozzy. I mean,
God.
if Ozzy came in and said, I want the left side of the stadium to fucking kill everybody on the right side, it would be a bloodbath. I mean,
My one regret is not seeing Black Sabbath on that final tour. I goofed in 2017.
I saw him with Pantera, and it fucking I won a contest. It was what city is Ozzy from? And we called it was from Birmingham.
Yeah.
And we saw Pantera open up for.
Damn.
Oh, that's amazing.
I've seen Pantera a couple of times, and
So you saw him during the Cowboys from Hell
I
cycle.
saw Cowboys from Hell, and I saw him on that, and kind of like it was the beginning. I mean, they were babies.
Well, it's from that area too,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
They're from Arlington, and just raw. And I'm glad that the part of because I love metal, and what sucks about the metal scene is like if you're not in it, you don't know who's coming up because there is nothing that promotes heavy metal other than like there are a couple. Unless you're plugged into the scene, you just don't know. There's no word of mouth, and I'm just glad that one of my favorite bands is a staple in should be up there on the Mount Rushmore of heavy metal because I mean Dimebag
Yeah.
and I love those scenes that where they wanted to be pop singers. I don't know if
Oh
ever,
yeah, they were a glam rock band
were
before they were like thrash.
Yeah, their uncle was a major producer in Nashville. I mean that's how they got started. And
Oh no shit.
he's like,
I remember seeing this on their Behind the Music episode.
he told if y'all ever have any hopes of wanting to succeed, it ain't gonna be like this. Y'all got to come back with a new look and. That's
Yeah,
how
they got
bad-
all drunk and smoking weed and shit.
But man, but you know what? I mean, there was never like a vulgarity to it. You know, I mean, it was just kind of like people that absolutely fucking love metal and they appreciate their fans, and they just molested you with whatever you wanted to hear. You know, and there was no downtime. I mean, and to see Dimebag, I mean, we did, and it's so painfully ironic that he was killed on the same day in the same way that John Lennon was. I mean,
Yeah.
December 8th, and you know.
Which that's kind of eerie because, okay, so Dime passed that way. Of course, John Lennon was murdered, but on the same night that John Lennon was murdered, Darby Crash from the
Darby.
Germs
Yeah.
overdosed.
That would have been the
And
biggest deal.
and his death was overshadowed because John Lennon died.
Yeah.
The Beatle died. You know, so it's kind of sad because
Yeah.
like that's literally how he just kind of disappeared into the abyss.
You know, and it's amazing too because like when John Lennon was killed, there's things that you can Monday Night Football. It was Cleveland playing Miami or something like that, New England, and you can hear Howard Cosell. It's just the way it is, but we have to report it because that's our job.
And it's funny as I heard Joey Diaz talk about this.
He goes, late
that
tonight,
night.
John Lennon of the Beatles shot dead in front of his hotel, dead on arrival. He's gone. And that's how the world found out about John Lennon, Monday Night Football, and watching the clip on YouTube and whatnot. I mean, it's just eerie because he's like, it's just a game. And, and he goes into it. But, that would just suck that my death gets overshadowed by someone who's greater than me, their death. I mean, that would just kind of...
It's tragic, you know what I mean? But yeah,
That Forever 27 Club.
Oh yeah.
I got a month left.
Oh man.
Then I'm out of it.
I was so weirded out by it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
That was just kind of ironic.
It's weird.
It's weird when you go back and you listen to their music, like you listen to the Doors, and it never really comes into mind that, Morrison's 24 right here.
No, never, never. Like you never think of like these like dumbass 22-year-olds
Yeah.
essentially delivering excellence in this like insane poetry.
Right.
You know what I mean? Same with like Janis Joplin.
Who was never appreciated. I mean, there's nothing.
That one's tragic.
There's never even there's a bust of her head in the library. That's all that you have to know about her in Port Arthur.
And
But when you drive in there, there's the home of Jimmy Johnson.
It's insane.
So, but yeah, I mean, she was so painfully
She was so sad.
and so sad.
She had such a troubled life, and she had such a heavy heart.
Didn't her yearbook say like ugliest girl?
Yeah, because she wasn't a beautiful girl.
I'm just saying,
you know
that's
what I mean?
fucked up to put.
But like, I feel like that has. I hate to say, I think that has a huge hand in why she's not as like infamous as she could be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like, Amy Winehouse was
she's-
part of the 27 Club. You know what I mean?
I read a really cool book. It was written by this concert promoter, and he was talking about how when he first got out to California, it was about that same time, and he was at this hotel, like a hotel, motel, no-tel, and he said that he was on acid, and he had just gotten to Hollywood, and that he was sitting in his hotel room, and he just heard this god-awful sexual screaming, and when he went out there, it was Jimi Hendrix and
Janis
Joplin having sex on a sun chair by the pool.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And he tells the story about it, and it was just, he's like there. I mean, two musical geniuses that hadn't collided yet.
I mean, her music's very guttural. Like
I never really listened to it.
me and Bobby McGee. Yeah, she's essentially like it's so guttural, and it's not this. It's soulful singing, but it's very much. It's not. There's nothing beautiful about it. It's just. It's raw.
Chris
it's very
Christopherson
raw.
wrote that.
Really?
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Oh my god.
Rest in peace. I saw him.
You see the Highwayman?
We should have. I've seen all of them except for Johnny Cash. I never got to see Johnny Cash. So I saw Willie at this 4th of July party in Fort Worth when they just brought it back to Fort Worth. And the cool thing, I got injured out there. My dumbass put sunscreen on my forehead, and I started to sweat, and I got sunscreen.
Start burning.
So I started burning. So I was walking around the stockyards.
You would be the first to die in a movie.
Yeah, I'm telling you. And so as the day went on, I mean, beers were. My friend had rented a party bus, so we wouldn't have to worry about driving. So I was just 3 sheets to the wind, and as the day went on, it was like, why are we paying so much money for the beer? And about 2:00 in the afternoon, the announcer guy goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, Willie refuses to go on until this venue drops the beer prices down to a reasonable price." Because I think they were like charging $20 for a 12-ounce.
Oh yeah.
And
When was this?
this was probably 2099.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's when they first moved back to the stockyards. And sure as shit, they went down like that, and because Willie wasn't having that, he's like, "I'm not." And he came out, and he's like, "I'm not letting anybody take advantage of my fans." But he had just had carpal tunnel surgery, so he couldn't play the guitar. Chris Christopherson was there to play the guitar for him, and throughout the show, he was. That's how he performed all this shit, and it was just like it was still beautiful.
Yeah.
Just out of his mind, but.
You saw Waylon?
I saw Waylon. I saw Merle. I've seen Willie. So my best Willie story, we were at Stubbs when Waylon died. And it was 2 nights after he died. We were in Austin. And Willie does, if y'all have never seen him, he does the staple opening. 3 songs, Whiskey River, and then, so he comes back and everybody's just like, woo, yeah, just being outside partying. And he goes, what do y'all say we do one for Waylon? And he did Angels Fly Too Close to the Ground.
Oh my God.
And, it was just
that song makes me sob.
It was just one of those moments where, like you were talking about, you were in that.
My heart just dropped.
You were in that group mania. I mean, because everybody was just like
in mourning at that point.
Oh shit, we forgot about Waylon Jennings dying today. And then he was like, and to think if you never had flown to the ground, had I never seen you, and it just changed that whole song.
That is such a heavy song. It's so beautiful, but it's so heavy.
Yeah, and then he just did it right, and then what do you say we do one for Waylon? And he did that, and and it gave me chills.
Yeah, I know. That just gave me chills just now hearing that.
That's what I love about music, and I have a little bit. I'm trying to figure out how to put it together. That's the greatest part of going to a concert there, because like there's for 15 minutes you can legally do anything you want, because when you hear that build up, and then when that first song comes on, and everybody just goes. I mean, you can fucking get away with murder if you're in the right place. But then
no, I've done it before. I've really punched somebody in the back of the head. I don't fuck with, like, just real quick, and then I just walk out.
And like, what? And,
yeah, I've done that before.
And it's crazy. I mean, and it was like that at Weird Al. I mean, you think that it's going to be this peaceful, loving, but no. There was 9 full bars there. I mean, at the Fair Park, people lose their minds at concerts, and in a good way. And it's just
pretty awesome.
I love it. In my next life, I want to come back as either a Steelers fan or Mick Jagger.
There you go.
I mean, because it's just
Steelers fan, huh?
Because Jerry Jones is never going to die.
He's the devil.
He's the devil. My grandma always said, "God's afraid of him, and hell doesn't want him, and God's afraid he'll take over." Or vice versa. Man. And this thing with Derrick Henry going on.
What?
Derrick Henry, the running back.
The Ravens?
Yeah.
What do you do?
He wanted to come to Dallas.
Oh, he should have.
And Derrick, we can't afford him.
Devontae Adams should come.
So music is my, I can't go down that rabbit hole right now.
Did you ever see Hank Williams?
No.
No.
But
he's still touring though.
I'm telling you, Steven Sturgill, that changed my life. I mean, every time I've seen him, that's about as close to classic country as you can get without seeing any changes. He's like Madonna and Cher. I mean, every album is different, or like the Beastie Boys. My last time to get trampled.
He only changed his guitar once for half a song, then he went back to his other guitar.
Yeah. The first time
it was weird.
The first time I saw him, Kentucky was in the national championship game in basketball. And so there's like after one song, he goes, "Hey, can somebody tell me the score of the game?" And he went into that song and came back, "I'm not fucking around. I need someone to tell me the score of the game." And he played his song.
He sounds like Waylon.
He goes, "I'm telling you, I'm not playing another goddamn song until someone tells me the score of the fucking game." So 48, and Kentucky ended up losing. That's all I wanted to know. Ding, 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 and he plays so fast.
He plays. Yeah, he does. I love it.
And because I wasn't expecting that coming from a country and western show. I mean,
he really rocks out, man.
Yeah, he does.
I'll go see him again.
That's one of my tattoos that I have is based off of turtles all down the way. And
where's it at?
It's on my thigh.
Nice.
So, you want me to show?
No, it's fine.
Good, because you don't want to see the dirty cannoli.
Anyways,
but no, I mean he just
cannoli.
But he and then we saw him at the bomb factory.
Your Cuban egg roll.
Yeah, no, hey, I'm an all national. I'm like, I can't. That's a bad one. But no, he changed my life. I mean, that's why music's so cool, because it's basically punk rock and country music infused together.
It's fucking awesome.
It's fucking awesome.
I got emotional on that one.
Yeah,
he did all said and done, and I was like, it's good. I ain't gonna lie to you. I got emotional during Orville Peck. I did.
No, but that's the good.
Orville Peck's amazing.
I was like,
I saw the
had my sunglasses. I was like,
I saw the Flaming Lips the other when they first.
Did you see them when they came to Buddy Holly?
Yes.
How was that?
I
goofed.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I was a fan of theirs, but I didn't know shit about them. I mean, I knew who they were, but I knew what them being in Lubbock meant. Being from Oklahoma.
It was a huge deal for them to be here.
Yeah, and they were so appreciative. They were so.
When was this?
The
Back in May.
May.
Buddy Holly.
And there was 500 people there, but their light show was like seeing Pink Floyd, and they were just so appreciative. And they jammed the entire time. They did 2 sets, and he goes, well, "What I'm going to do is we're going to play some of the new stuff." This first set was their second album in its entirety, and then the second set was we're going to play all the hits that you want to hear. And but there were a couple of songs in there, and they're all about positivity. They're all about love, and they're all about just keep your shit together. And there were a couple of times where the songs came on, and I just sat down and I was crying. I mean, it was just because
I love when that shit does that to you.
I love being that vulnerable and loving that situation where everything's going to be all right for
this set.
For the hour that you're
Everything's okay.
Everything's okay. I mean, and like everybody around me, they were all hugging, and they were all. Just, I mean, it was just such a good vibe.
There's that one video. It's like some like kid who's like clubbing back in like the 2000s or whatever, and he's like, the alcohol is flowing, the ladies look good. There's much pain in the world, but not tonight.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like that's what music does.
It's so tragic that those people. I mean, I think that any good artist has to go through miserable shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think you can have a life unscarred and then be an impactful artist, whether it's through music or painting or, I mean, because if you've never suffered in your life, what are you writing about? What are you talking about? And these people have such tortured lives, and they get everything that they want when you're a star, when you're on top, and then you could end up like a Belushi, or you could end up like Chris Cornell, or through your own means. I mean, and you're so tortured by your success or whatever. It's just kind of like, God damn, why can't you just pull yourself back and enjoy what you did or what you created? And I don't know. Mm-hmm. It hurts my feelings.
Yeah.
Especially like with Buddy Holly, like we talked about. Mm-hmm. Where would he be?
Yeah.
Would he go through his country phase? Would he go through the drug phase? Would he have gone through the Christian phase? Would he come back and charge you?
Lubbock would be a whole different
Kurt
fucking
Cobain.
thing.
We would have grown to hate Kurt
Yeah,
Cobain.
he would have sucked now.
Yeah, if you live long enough, you grow. What?
You grow enough to see yourself become the villain.
Yeah.
You either die a hero or you
Yeah.
live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
The Crow.
No,
Fire it up.
that's not the Crow. It's not the Crow, by the way.
Was it not?
That's the Dark Knight.
Oh, okay.
The Crow's awesome. That
is
movie.
fire,
That movie made me emotional.
Yeah.
Because Jen showed it to me about 2 weeks ago.
The one with
The old one.
The Christian Bale or Christian.
Yeah,
Heath
Dark Knight,
Ledger?
brother. What? The Crow.
Brandon,
The Crow. I thought
Brandon
we were
Lee.
Yeah, that one was.
Oh no, The Dark Knight's my favorite movie ever.
Yeah, we switched.
I'm talking about
Music.
The Crow. That movie
Yes.
made me emotional because it was like you look at it, you're like, damn, he's never gonna be here.
He's not, and they kept the scene where he got shot in the movie.
That's what I thought. I really thought that
You can see it.
I thought so.
He goes like that.
when he's on the table when he falls
Yeah.
back. I thought that's what
Yeah.
it looked like. It.
I mean, and when you see it at first, for the first time, I think I was in like sophomore, junior year, high school, and I just remember. I mean, that movie was just so crazy because I loved kung fu. I loved his dad, and I mean, just and all that. But just to see that, it's like the first time I got to intermingle with the goth kids. I mean, because my friends were with everybody, but I never got to hang out with the girls that dressed in all black. And
Did that even exist back then?
Yeah.
Here?
yeah,
It did.
yeah. I mean, it was like a mod. I mean, social groups. I mean, breakfast club's the same no matter where you go.
Oh, now everybody's trans. But
Well, I identify as Russell. But I mean, but yeah, I mean, there was just so much pain in that movie, and
you identify as Ice Coop.
yeah, Ice Coop. If I had my hair, I'd have the drip, or two Koopa lips for Tupac. Two. I never could get that, but Ice Coop, straight out of Lake Ridge.
You're an interesting fella, Ice Coop.
Stuff.
Well, I'm just lucky to be alive. I'm like a cat. I've seen a lot of weird shit go down, and I know we're supposed to talk about music, but I went down the rabbit
We can talk
hole.
about whatever, man.
It's
What's the weirdest thing you've ever seen in your life?
The weirdest thing I've ever seen?
Your leg?
Oh man, that was one of them. But I mean, it just there's so many different things that just I don't know.
Have you had sex with a man?
No,
Okay.
no.
Has it come close?
I don't think that. No, I never have. I think I've replaced Leonardo with James McAvoy. So with my,
Okay.
if
You
I
like
ever
James
had to.
McAvoy?
Yeah, we went and saw Speak No Evil.
How was that?
He's pretty ripped in
It
that
was
one, right?
fucking awesome. I mean,
That's a remake of a German movie, I think.
yes. And I was sending the trailer to a friend of mine, my cousin, and I accidentally sent the trailer for the the original. He's like, "What the fuck is this? This is shit." But I mean, he had me every time I've seen it, and he's
a great actor.
He's jacked up. I mean,
He's pretty jacked now, huh?
He's jacked up, but I mean, the movie from opening scene, it just has you. It's just intense, and it builds and it builds and it builds, and it has that ending of it where it's just like, woo, and then it's justified, and it works, and it's so fucking good. But you know, I don't see him coming to Lubbock anytime soon, and I don't drink like I used to. So, and if Ace Frehley's around, I mean, I would for Ace because I'm at Kiss
Ace
Lover.
now?
Ace forever. But you know, I'm a fat girl now. I mean, I'm not like I used to be.
Oh, God.
But no, never had sex with a man.
I forgot I asked you that.
Yeah, that's cool. No, I'm an open book. You know, there have been times where I've like watched Elvis or see Troy Aikman play. I'm just kind of like,
All right.
I see the appeal. Or you go to a rock show and you see like
Elvis was the man.
the androgyny of it. And you're like,
He's like Axl Rose,
Yeah.
like shaking some ass, and it's just like
Not him, no.
that tight little body. I see it.
well, but just like for like the lead guitar player for Def Leppard. You know,
Oh,
every
yeah,
now and then,
yeah,
I mean, he looks like a chiseled god without a shirt on. It's just kind of like, whoa.
He's a hot guy.
Yeah, but just have that rock and roll body. But I can see why
Yeah.
girls go crazy over it. I throw my boxer shorts on stage.
I did that for Dua Lipa.
Hey, if the Runaways came in town, or the Go Go's,
That'd be cool.
I'd be a groupie. Pass me around.
Yeah.
All right,
John
Russ.
Jett looks
Ice
amazing.
Cube, before we get you out of here, your favorite band of all time?
My favorite what?
Band.
Kiss.
Favorite movie?
What's your favorite?
Revenge of the Nerds. Godfather 2.
What is your favorite Kiss era?
Oh, the beginning. The 70s.
The self-titled.
The self-titled. The Hotter Than Hell. The Love 'Em and Leave 'Em. I mean, it's so different because they were a rock band
Oh yeah.
in the early days, and there's a lot of hardcore shit on there. And she walks by moon. Copyright, but the early stuff in Anthrax.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love Anthrax. But to a man, if I can't say Weird Al, I stand by that.
That would be fun. He would be cool to see.
Best concert you've ever seen?
Outcast, Goody Mob.
What era of Outkast?
When Equipment I came out, and it was free because it was on they were doing a promotion. If you got a Coke bottle, it gave you a number, and you called the number and you put in that code. They gave you 2 free tickets, and they were playing at the Bronco Bowl in Dallas.
Wow.
And if y'all don't know what the Bronco Bowl is, it's a venue in Dallas that was a half bowling alley, and the other half was a 1,500 seat venue.
Wow.
And it was fucking
Is it
awesome.
still there?
No. It was all, that Weird Al the first time I saw him, Kiss the first time I saw him, Tool.
They need to open something like that here.
Yeah.
How many times have you seen Anthrax?
I've seen him twice.
Twice.
The only time they've been here, they came on where they did the hits, and then they came on their last album.
Yeah, the time I saw Anthrax might have been like 2017.
It was at the amphitheater.
Yeah, over here on 19th.
Yeah.
That was a good ass show.
I got kicked in the face, and I've got on my phone. I've got some stuff from the mosh pit. I was so excited that
No.
Who was the head?
I lost my
lead
shit
singer?
once I started hearing Indians start getting played. I was like, "Oh my
Was it-
god, they're
To
taking
the
it there!"
Indians. Oh, it was the
Yes.
Joey Belladonna.
Was it him? Damn, that'd be cool.
That was cool.
It was even just cool to see like Scott Ian. Like I've only ever now it's kind of becoming a thing where like people are starting to reference those old shows from like
Yeah.
VH1, like I Love the 80s and stuff like that. But I remember Scott Ian was always like a commentator on
Yeah.
there. And so to finally see him in real life, even like I wasn't even thinking about him being part of
He
Anthrax.
shreds.
Yeah, but I was just like, oh
Do you know who his father-in-law was?
my Meatloaf.
Meatloaf.
Yeah.
Lubbock, Texas.
Yep. He went to Lubbock Christian.
Scott Ian plays the guitar pretty interestingly.
But I can show y'all sometime, but I was about as far away from him, and he plays so fast and so effortless. That band was so jinxed in the beginning. I mean,
Yeah.
they almost didn't make it. They almost quit. They almost gave up. And now they're one of the
They're the part of the Big Four.
Big Four,
Big
man.
Four.
Their drummer is with Pantera.
Should have been Lars.
Fucker.
I got it out. But Cliff is the best bass player. So
Ever.
But yeah, I would say Weird Al and Kiss and Outkast. And then Sturgill.
Kiss is always
Well,
a
if
great
I can put
time.
my input in before we get you out of here, I'd say go see System of the Down because that's the best concert I've ever seen in my life.
I would go see that.
That was amazing.
Well, and is that guy really tattooed like that? With all the veins, or is that just makeup?
We never saw him without his shirt off.
Oh,
Fully clothed.
He ain't getting none of this with that shirt on.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Oh man, hey,
man.
thank you for having me on. I loved every second of it.
oh man, this is
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you.
Such a good one.
You got any? Can they follow you anywhere? Any shows you're doing?
Man, I do open mic here. I'm still trying to get my name out there. I've done a showcase, and then hopefully after this next one comes up, I've got an engagement where my niece is gonna be doing something that is causing me not to be able to go up on that one when the next one's coming up. But hopefully after that coming up, but at the Lantern Bar PM.
You missed out tonight, huh?
Yeah.
Thank you, though.
Well, hey, you know what? I mean, this was, like I said, you asked me to do this, or I asked to do it, and you
I don't
were
remember.
gracious enough to put me on. And
That's all it takes, folks. If you want to be on, just ask me.
yeah, and then so I can go over there and get on as soon as I get out of here. You
Hell
never
yeah,
know.
man.
There you go.
Rafa
Ice
there.
Coop.
Maybe I can bump Rafa tonight.
There
But there you go.
Hey, man, thank you.
Yes, it's such a good one.
Let's see. When the next Snake Pit Live, you will be
Yeah,
on there.
absolutely. I would love to be
And
on that
we'll,
one.
We'll have you licking underarms and all that again.
Well,
You should lick yours.
No. Thanks, guys. We'll
Yeah.
see y'all next time.
have a good one.